Oh yeah, how you doing? Don't you know I'm loca? Hey, stuffed bell peppers on the way. Okay, so what I have here, stuffed freaking bell. Do I need to say that? Stuffed bell peppers. Yeah, this is delicious. Everybody loves stuffed bell peppers. Okay, over here I've got some veggie ground rounds, vegetarian ground beef really, and some onions that I've sauteed up there. I've got two. You might do like 5 if you're feeding your family. When I put in the description box, I'll put like if you're gonna make like 5 of these, but for myself, 2 is plenty. So you get your green bell pepper, you cut the lid off, you empty out all the seeds. Then you boil them for 5 minutes. See, they're already mostly cooked. That's a big deal. That's the whole trick to this. If you try to just cut them off and stuff them and throw them in the oven, it just, no matter how long you cook it, I mean, I guess eventually, but probably not, it would burn before it would cook them. It just doesn't work. The whole trick is you boil them for 5 minutes first, okay? And then here we've got some instant brown rice ready to go. So I'm going to mix together the brown rice, the veggie ground round, the diced onions, some tomato sauce, some garlic salt. That's it. I'm going to mix those things together. Okay, here I've got just the rice, the onions, and the ground round. That way I can kind of see how much tomato sauce I might need. Obviously you don't want it too soupy. It's not like a soup. You want it to be real thick still. Okay. So it's wet, it's moist. You want it, that's kind of like where the focus on this thing. That's where the moist sensation comes from. You know, like it mixes in the pepper taste and everything, and has it. But yet I have a little bit of this left to put on the top. You'll see that in a second. So now I'm going to put in the oven is preheating at 350. I worked with I've worked with some really good cooks, and one of my favorite cooks taught me. He went to Coeur d'Alene cooking school, and he taught me that you always increase the temperature of whatever they say. So this recipe calls for 350, so you want it to be at more like 375. You know, like increase the temperature by a little bit. That seems to work pretty good. So, okay, before I stuff it in the pepper though, I gotta put the garlic salt, which is garlic and salt at the same dang time. There. Okay, now I'm going to taste it, because if it needs more salt, no. I added a little bit too much. Garlic salt. It'll be fine though, but it definitely does not need any more. Now I'm going to put that inside there. What normally you do is you add less garlic salt, then you taste it and you go, ooh, it could use a little more salt. Then you add salt, not more garlic salt, but you add more salt so that it's more salty and not more garlicky. But right here it's got plenty of both of those things. Now I'm going to put this inside there. Okay. So now it's, hello, my hand. Oh, I swear. Now that's there. Now I'm going to get this. I'm going to put a little bit of, and put the rest of the tomato sauce on top. Like this. When it cooks, it'll like seep back down. Like I said, it's kind of good if it's has a certain kind of juiciness to it. There, perfect. So I timed that perfect. So there would be more of this on top, put it everywhere like that. Yummy. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this. Which lid goes on which one? I think this one goes on this one. Then this one goes on this one. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it goes all right there. Okay. So now I've got them covered like that. Now I'm going to wrap them in tin foil. There. Now I'm going to put it in the oven. Cook it for like 40, 45 minutes. You know, I'll check it after 30 minutes, but it's probably 30, 35, 40 for just 2 of them. Might be like 40, 45 for like 5 or 6 of them, depending on how many people. I'm used to feeding me and my son. This was a favorite of my son and I's all those years. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it for that long, and when it's done, it'll be obvious. You know, you cook it till it's pretty much done. Then I'm going to take the tin foil off, and then I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on it. You should use mozzarella, maybe vegan mozzarella or just regular shredded mozzarella, and then sprinkle your shredded mozzarella on it. But right now all I have is cheddar, so I'm going to sprinkle some cheddar on it. Either cheese really works. You take the lids off, you take the tin foil off, you take the lids off, you set the lids aside, and then you sprinkle your cheese on it, and then you put it back in the oven with no tin foil. Then what that does is it melts the cheese and kind of browns it and melts it. When the cheese is just like pizza, when it's barely starting to brown, it's done. Then you take it out, you put your lid back on it, you set it on your plate, and eat. Give it a few minutes to sit, and then eat it. So instead of keeping this on pause for 45 minutes, I'll just make that the thing. These are delicious. You gotta try them. So again, I'm gonna cook them, remove the tin foil, remove the lids, put cheese, put it back in the oven, brown the cheese, take it out, put it on a plate, put the lid back on it. It's done.